big announcement that I've been promising, and this is a great day. Let me offer a little bit of notes. We're still waiting our Witch Starter campaign, which is going to have, which is really our Pagan World TV project, and we're so excited about that and getting people started, getting that energy up, and getting it out there. Before I make my big announcement, as everybody knows, you've been hearing a lot about the Corellian tradition, and as part of today's notes, I will note that I have also been retiring in office along with Reverend Don Lewis and a number of other people, and we've had great people move in because of the reason I have set out and discussed the idea of what it is. But tonight, we have a very special announcement. But let me go over a little bit of my history. Most people don't know who I am. And then there's people all over the world who know who I am. My name is Ed Hubbard, Reverend Ed Hubbard, and also I am known as Ed the Pagan. And I've been Ed the Pagan since 1995, as named by Rokon and Gary Meyer of WSLS Radio, so they could identify me as one of the callers in who was awfully freaking in those early days, those fancy, lovely days of early talk radio. And that was in Chicago. And people would find out that I also was one of the pioneers of pagan radio, was one of the very first people to own my own show called Psychic Chicago Radio, where we paid $75 an hour to be on the air. And that was at late night. And so there it was. We've also been the founders of Magic TV. I am one of the co-founders of Witch School, which is now 300,000 people worldwide and has been very much responsible for the growth of the Corellian tradition. And so there we go. That is there. And so a little bit else about me. I've built a lot of systems. I've helped a lot of people build systems. But I am an infrastructure guy who's been predicting the idea that AI and other systems of techno magic were coming in. And today I read a report that a lot of people feel that AI, especially Chat GPT, is arrived faster than I expected, 5 years faster. And then I've always talked about this device. And so what I'm going to announce today, and so thank you everybody for joining us. And here we go. So let me go ahead and make it. The announcement is, as of tonight, actually as of this morning, Pagan World Project Ltd., which this is a part of, is now an independent not-for-profit. We stand alone as an independent profit, not-for-profit, an NFP raised in the state of Illinois, and we have our board of directors, which is an international board of directors to begin representing the pagan community in this new world. So Pagan World TV is part of this larger project. Pagan.world is that. And so now instead of just working for being just part of it. Yeah, somebody just said it. Now I'll answer that question. I'll answer a couple of questions there. And hello, everybody. Castanatos, Sidwer, and the people who have joined me. So many people already. So to explain the idea of Pagan World Project Ltd. is that we are going to become what people would call the witch fox of the metaverse. We are now deep into this idea. We're going to have creating a site that everybody can join, that we can do one thing and one thing above all, begin building traffic and redirecting traffic and all sorts of energy towards the pagan community, not just to one network, not just to create one super site, but to literally integrate ourselves into the internet itself, the telepathic world, the AI systems, and that I'm uniquely qualified. But we also have other members to do it. We have an international team to do that, which includes Chris Copeland of the Netherlands, who's a fantastic entrepreneur to speak your own book. We have Neil Goodman, who is actually a 27-year merchant of the festivals and a heathen who's representing it. We also have Jason Mycroft, who's been one of my long-term allies in building sites, including these other sites that I've built. And we also have, Lori Blackman, who's been a long time and is the press secretary of the Correllian tradition and is a longtime media expert. And so we have those as our officers. We have 7 in total to represent an international team, because one of the things we need to do now is represent the paganism. So, yes, I see you all love Chris and everything else. And so one of the things I want to talk about is the concept of what's happening to the pagan world and why we have to act now. AI has been early. Chat GPT we've been talking about, Jasper AI, a lot of that imagery comes in. And on the negative side, there's a lot of AI created books that just aren't very good. So we're going to analyze that. 2, if you are a video creator, you can come in and be curated. You can add not only to our Roku channel of Smart TV, but also you can also curate to have your stuff on that. And so let us talk about the components really quick. Eric Hubbard. Magic TV is now independent of the Correllian tradition, though they will have a license to use it, so that it is now moved to pagan world as part of the agreement to separate and allow the Correllian tradition to really work on their churches, their schools, and all the ideas of ritual and magnificent. And so Magic TV, which is one of the oldest, earliest YouTube channels, is now there with all of that content. Correllian Publishing, which is now going to become Pagan World Publishing, has joined Pagan World. So we are also a multi-tiered zero manufacturing system. And so zero manufacturing, I'll talk about all this. This is deep into the AI. This is as important when I started Pagans Tonight radio station. It is important as Magic TV. It is as important as we did for Witch School. And we've built all these. Pagan World is the latest and greatest project. So yes, Magic TV. We have Magic TV. We have the Daily Spell, which, as you know, which is our oldest brand. Started in 1997, and Telepathic Media was there. And so it was originally called Telepathic Media in the days of GeoCity. And because of the wankiness of the various servers, we were able to do it. So what does this mean for you? This means that we also have paganworld.world and Correllian Publishing, which will become Pagan World Publishing, into one new house. And we've gone independent so we can deal with all of these situations and be a part of this new AI world. And we're heading towards the Parliament to broadcast live. We can broadcast live in 15 minutes. One of the biggest things we can do is we can be an emergency television station. We'll be also adding radio. We'll be adding music. We have a lot of things we add. And ultimately, at one of the cores, we will be a directory that will help you out as well. I want to talk about citizenship in a little bit, but I'm going to tell you one thing. It's a new rule, and this is a formula that I got accepted, and I'm not going to be speaking to the world, and that is telecosm. If you haven't heard of telecosm, it is what happens when we reach infinite bandwidth. And so one of the formulas I've got, and this is very important to the community, is how we're going to deal in this new world. So a telecosm is the entirety of the internet and how it produces. And when we reach infinite bandwidth, imagine what we can do. But to find telecosmic power, yes, this is a new formula. And I got accepted. And I have actually mathematicians now accepting it as part of our system. It's telecosmic power equals bandwidth, processing power, storage over electricity. So the more bandwidth you have, the more processing power, which is vastly increased, and the amount of storage you have will then, over the amount of energy you have, electricity, will begin that process. And we'll talk more about that. But I am going to take a talk, and I'm going to bring on Mary Hawk, the wonderful lady Mary Hawk, who is also the general manager of our overall project. And she has been there, and now a board member of the Pagan World Project Ltd. We are now independent and energetic.
Hello, Ed.
Hello, how you doing?
I am great. How are you tonight?
Good. I mean, how can I not be? I mean, this is my next big dream. This is the big energy. And yeah, it's a great service. So we're taking control of all these ideas. I'm just very excited. I've been wanting to wait for this sort of thing. I wanted to let people know. And this is now an independent project. And I think one of the things people didn't understand is oftentimes, as there is in the scramble of these various traditions and in Correllian traditions, people were very hesitant at times to join this project because they saw it as a Corellian project. And as of tonight, it is actually a fully recognized not for profit, registered in the state of Illinois, now represents its own energy. And so that'll allow it to act more free. It'll allow it to act in the good of not just the Corellians, but that and that. And through it, we're going to be able to expand tenfold, a hundredfold the amount of people we can contact. And tonight we have so many people out there. That's right. The sky's the limit. Thank you, Byron. Yes, I feel like
Yes,
very
Byron.
strongly. Yeah. So I feel very strongly that now that we have gained this independence, we can act in a way that is more um, cross-platform. Do we represent all the pagans? No, but those pagans who want to, and I'm going to talk a little bit about citizenship and the real standards of this, and what it's going to mean for some of the energies for it. But first, Mary, why don't you come and tell us a little bit of where you see it's happening because you work in this every day, and so how that impacts your job and what we do.
Well, first of all, I am really excited about this step to bring us independent because we can be more representative. Everyone was always welcome to join Pagan World, but it has been perhaps very weighted towards the Corellian tradition just because so many of the people involved are Corellians. So I think it's a wonderful step for us to take a step away and become an independent entity. And what this means is we are here to help connect or just to connect pagans with other pagans. And we have lots and lots of tools to do that. We have Pagan World TV that you're watching us on now, whether you're watching us on Roku or whether you're watching us streaming on one of our streaming outlets. We have Pagan.world, where we are building a giant directory of pagans. As Ed mentioned, we will be getting into radio, and we are here to serve all pagans. So, and especially if you are a video producer, please reach out to us. We would love to have you present on Pagan World TV. We would love to have your videos on pagan.world. We can certainly help you get more hits back to your YouTube channel from pagan.world.
So let me offer something here. If you're running your own television station, join Pagan Worlds because this is a cross promotion. We are going to act as an agent of all elements. So if you have a radio station or a radio podcast, join it. And when you join, and it's free to join, to do so, you will have your own page on that page, the beginning of what we had on Witchfox, so that you can do that, so you can let people know so that it is not that. So it is, while we're generating some of these tools for ourselves, we can also generate these tools for you. So not only are we looking to generate our own tools, but we are also going to build tools for other people. And one of the principal acts we're talking about being pagan world, but we need to relocalize our communities. We need to find our resources and help people on a local basis. So not only are we going to do the very broadcast of programming, but we're going to allow you to also find people in your area to connect with. We need to connect with other people. And that's what this is. It's a connection. And I'll talk a little bit about it out there. So we're going to go ahead and say hi. Jeffrey Winford. Does anyone have guests on this announcement? Yeah, it is what it is. Sir Eric Aubert, Michael Cosmo, which is one of our great friends and fans, and somebody who's really helped us. Bradley Castanos out of Greece. Serdwin, which has become a recent reporter, vendor for us and has done his commercials. Jim Sayers. Byron Ballard, I do that. So I want to show some of these comments. We see that as a great service we do provide, and the sky's the limit. There we go. And best Diane Damari, another great individual who has helped us out so much. I'm so very excited. Yes, somebody's asking, what about wildlife care videos? Yes. How about making jelly? How about anything that we need to do so? Thank you about being very proud of the project. We can do that. David Moore, I think David Moore, thank you for that. So, no. So, what is this limit? So, what are we doing? We're not necessarily trying to be a religious channel as a lifestyle channel. This is an important thing. So, if you are living this, we don't necessarily, we want rituals. We want that religiosity. We want to do Sunday rituals. We want to have people do full moons. We want you to think of anything. But we can have something here. So, let me explain something about the new internet. In the next 18 months, the internet is going to change dramatically. Already, ChatGPT, which is just one service, has already gone over 100 million people. It took 5 days to reach its first million people, and is now over 100 million people. I looked up some people today, and that artificial intelligence, that reality, is going to change the way we connect each other. And connect with each other. And it's going to include a lot of different tools. So right now we're not for profit. And so that means we don't make a profit. We're not out here to make a profit. We're not out to, we're cover our expenses and maybe a little bit more to be able to continue to expand. But what does this mean for you? That means for you as a pagan, a Wiccan, a witch, a mad magician, this is a way for you to reach a shared audience. It's called the mesh. This is the exciting thing. I couldn't build the mesh so that everything we want, you can look up suppliers, you can look up vendors, you can look up your local neighborhood to find out what rituals are happening. The more you input your system in, and the more we build this synergy, we can do things from very localized. We can identify a community very small to being global and ask for global help. And there's some real benefits to this. So, Mary, so how would people contact us? Um, I guess right through the website, right?
Yes, you can always go to pagan.world and join. You can message me or Ed directly there. You can also email us at paganworldtv@gmail.com.
And we're going to actually build. So this means as we move forward, we're going to actually build website email systems that are going to be more reactive to us. We talk about
Yes.
that, and people are saying hi. Our vendors are there. So, and how we're going to support this? Well, the primary way we're trying to get capital right now is through Kickstarter. We have a Kickstarter project today. And so that's very exciting. So check it out. We've taken the name witchstarter.com. So we're now that, hey, Melissa, yeah, it is interesting. We are hoping, and Melissa Anderson, who is one of the great community workers out there, who we want to basically, they made an announcement today with the IPMA Awards, International Pagan Musical Association, just announced all of their candidates, and they're going to be opening the voting for it. So we want to help them get votes. I mean, this is one of the things. They have done a really great job. Um, yeah, you're talking about Mesh. Yes, he's right. So for those who haven't seen it, he said, "Oh, no, stop it. Let's go that. Let's go back down." A mesh is a great word as it allows for decentralized product ownership across the global arena, but a centralized catalog of consistent experience and services pointing that for those things out and allows for scale. And that's correct. If you're a merchant trying to sell product, we're going to help you sell merchants for product. We're going to have leadership training. We're going to have marketing training. We've got with Chris Copeland, we have the beginnings of a market agency. We are going to be for one purpose, and that is making sure the millions of pagans that are out there who are having difficulty, the millions of magic users and witches having trouble connect, we're going to find ways to connect, not just through one site, but all of your sites into this mesh that the internet Um, oh yeah, if you want to go in YouTube, YouTube is one of those things out there that we are going through. Oh no, there is already. So I want to hopefully the 24-hour music station. David Moore is asking, is there may now be enough music to keep a channel busy 24/7? Our own MTV. That's already actually some of that's already out there. You're talking about the international radio network. He does music 24 hours a day. We've got a big player in French TV. French TV has done a really great job doing a lot of music. We're doing more of it. And there's a number of stations. So if you could find them, this is the problem. These resources are out there. We need to be able to identify them. So it isn't just about us doing one thing. I mean, there's dozens of schools. There's dozens of everything. So, give you a really quick number. I looked it up today. Did you know there are 180,000 Facebook groups that have more than 1,000 people along these lines? Think about that. And so it's very hard to navigate that. Right. International Pagan Radio. There it is. And yeah, Melissa Anderson, they're saying, it was like, there we go with that. And they were saying that Melissa Anderson knows a lot about stations. She's been doing it for a while. Um, and this is another one. Says, I'm glad to be involved early, looking to make more content. Plus,
That's
okay,
a shout out to Reverend Jedi there with Temple of the Starry Sky.
all right. And so some people said this is visionary and ambitious. The community needs this. All right. So I'm going to get into the last piece of this that is essentially important. But let's go ahead and, that's what it is. But let me offer this. People ask me, well, Ed, what are you talking about? How can you do this? Remember, I am an individual who's already built large structures online. I built the original Daily Spell, which was one of the first newspapers online. I then went on to build a school. Which school of that has now reached over 300,000 people and have helped create temples, covens, and everything else, and who is now sending about 100 people to the parliament through our training to do so. And we're going to do live events from the parliament as well as a day after event. Then we have, the Magic TV system. We have had numerous other systems that I've built. And now this is the latest one, and this is the deepest one because it deals with this idea of telecosmic power, this ability of the community to be meshed together and start to act in a big way. I know a lot of people miss WitchFox. This is WitchFox 3.0 in a lot of ways. So this is not just visionary. I know it sounds very visionary, but this is very, very practical. This is a must do. We must deal with the AI. We must do that. Yes, there we go. Michael McGraw, he's saying there. And we've got so many tools. We'll go over them in other shows out there where we'll begin to share our networking. We're going to have community hours, office hours. I know some of it. I've talked to David Moore, who's going to come on with a Pagan News Hour. I'm very excited about all the different components, and they all mesh together to do so. So, Mary, why don't you talk a little bit about the vendors and how that's going to work for them? The suppliers, the vendors, sponsors, people who want to help us with that.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Vendors, sponsors. So, anybody who is offering services or merchandise, and notice I did not specifically say pagan. We are welcoming anyone who would like to join our system and promote their merchandise and services. Please contact us. We are offering through our Kickstarter a vendorship and a sponsorship that will get you a vendorship, gets you one 30-second ad a day on Pagan World TV. Sponsorship will get you 3. It will also, both levels, get you listings in our directory, and you can go to witchstarter.com to sign up. We will help you if you need help creating your ads. And yeah, I see people are missing Witchbox. You are most welcome, Gabriel. And so, yes, please come and join us. We would love to help you promote your products and your services. And again, they do not have to be specifically pagan or magical in nature. We would love to have Joe the Pagan Plumber become a sponsor with us. Because I tell you right now, I urgently needed a plumber a couple of years ago. I would have loved to have been able to look one up here. So,
And
but
that's what.
please come.
Please.
So excited we keep talking over each other tonight, Ed.
Don't we always?
Yeah.
Um, so let me go ahead and talk about Witch Fox really quick. And that is the idea that Witch Fox by Fritz Young and by the energy of Winter Wren and all of that. Winter, it's not correct. Um, that this is not related to them directly. This is not their project. There's not a project we're doing. And they have moved that off to their own spaces and have closed. So we understand this is we're inspired in part by them. And I think what they did really well. And so, and so there we go. And there's people talking about Melissa Anderson. I mean, I'm hoping that she will utilize the service. I'm hoping the Cauldron will use the service. I'm hoping IPR is going to use the service. I'm hoping that the thousands of programmers that are going to be out there who will use this service. And so, one last mention here, David's mentioned, yeah, good that about having VR and AR. Actually, I'm working with people in VR and AR right now. It's one of the exciting things, and this is one of the reasons we went independent because we're going to have to construct things on that, and also independent means we have to find our own funding. So let me talk about the last piece of this. Everybody goes, "Oh, it's so nice! You're going to build this not for profit." No, we're building something different. The way the new internet's going to work, you see us use the term citizen, and we use it a lot. And right now we're charging $29.99 for a lifetime membership, a one-time fee to be done. That it won't necessarily remain, but what that is a we are going to form in the next 18 months. All citizens will get a token, and this is called a digital autonomous organization. And literally the hundreds of websites we're building, the sort of things that we have in this project, will we be able to manage in 5 years, 4 years, 5 years through a decentralized autonomous organization. Sounds very fancy. What it means is citizens will have an app, not only access the opportunity, but as they see the equity in the terms of owning website names, we literally have over 50 names right now. And Second Life, that there's going to be more and more of that. So we're going to have that energy. We're going to have things that we own within the digital worlds, NFTs, a lot of things that are coming down the line. So it'll be owned by the citizens of the site. Ultimately, these corporate structures are going to become on the internet these autonomous organizations, decentralized autonomous organizations. So that will be decentralized and allow for a lot more control through these ledgers like blockchain. That's the long term vision of developing. Not only are we going to do that in order to continue to do so, the money that we're investing isn't just for a small group of people to control, but everybody will be able to come in and be able to vote on things, desire things, create content for things, and the copyrights on everything that is we're doing remains with the original owner, but the ability to build these broadcasting tools, these energies that we do, will be community owned. Understand, We are moving to community owned. I could talk all day about this, about us. We're a social transmitter. This is really cutting edge, and I'm really excited about it because for me, this has been a part of a long term thesis that I've had, and today this is it. This is the day we're on the runway, being an independent group, handling our own material. Oh yeah, Wild Moon Temple is talking about Second Life. Yes, you've been there for a while, and you love it. Great opportunity. We're going to do Zoom. We're going to do all of this. We have so many tools to create unlimited bandwidth. I'll be introducing some of the board members who are helping us build this. You can volunteer to help. And over the long term, we're not just going to help us build this. We're also going to find ways to get not just paying for this, but I want revenue in the pockets of individual pagans, group pagans, and everything else. This isn't just about that. This is about dealing with the elder care processes, revenue streams, and all of that. We'll talk more about that later. But I think that is my announcement today. Pagan World Project Ltd. is an independent organization developing, and as we put in there, doing research, education, media, and ultimately even entertainment for the pagan community, by the pagan community, to serve ourselves and to make sure that we have a position, just like we've been building here in the past. But now today, this was for the future. I want you all to remember the future, start visioning the future, help us vision the new future. And we're going to talk about this more. Thank you. I agree. It was Witchbox was awesome, and we're trying to build into that legacy our own inspiration. Okay, Cosmo will ask a question. That is ultimately, as you know, I am one of the biggest preservationists of information. It's why we took on the Magic TV part to make sure that it remains. We are our own ancestors. We are the ancestors of the future. We already have 6,000 hours. We've been on for weeks now with even more content. We produce content on a daily basis. But if you go to the site, you will see that we've also began curating from YouTube, from other sources, and we've been organizing that knowledge to make it easier for you to find. The site's a little bulky right now. It's still a little bit needed more energy. It needs more exercise. But that comes from you as well. You can come in if you go there, and I will do a class. I'll be announcing a class here relatively soon, probably for Sunday, that'll go through the site and show you all the different aspects as we're constantly moving. Remember, that's a constant energy. So we're preserving our sites, and we have one other power. Mary, how long does it take us to go live from the air from wherever we need to?
Uh, if you tell me we need to go live, I can be in front of my computer in about 10, 15 minutes, ready to go.
So if there is a major incident, if you are being protested, if you are being in trouble that somebody's protesting your event, if you have a cell phone, you can be a reporter. That's right. If you have a cell
Yes.
phone, you can be a reporter, and we can start broadcasting to the world any emergency we need to. If there's a big accident, if there is flooding, we can go to anywhere. And who's going to be able to be our reporters? Anyone with a cell phone. If you have an internet connection and everything else, and that will be preserved. Because remember, journalism is just the first draft of history. It goes in there. And now, if you want to see on Magic TV, if you want to see in a lot of things, we'll also be replaying some of the Pagans Tonight, the massive number of Pagans Tonight broadcasts, but also other people's. It's just not one group. It is a lot of groups. I'm hoping that you all come on board. We'll talk about that more. But preserving knowledge. And that's why we want a digital autonomous organization, so that this becomes permanent ownership by the community, by individuals, by families, because you can take that token and it will exist for as long as the internet exists. So thank you, everybody. I think that's good. I think we've answered the question. I want to thank everybody who's been listening in. And if you want to help us right now, you can go to witchstarter.com, look at our Kickstarter campaign. You can also go to our site and become a citizen directly on there, or just join it. I don't care. I don't. Yeah, we're not for profit, so as long as we cover our expenses, we'll be on every day in some form or another.
Yes, we will.
And that's it. So me and Mario, thank you. Hmm?
Thank you all
Uh,
for joining us.
and thank you on the site now. Yes, and thank you for being excited for the future. I am so much. What is the link? Oh, for the pagan world, it is pagan.world. Yes, HTTP pagan.world. You can also go to paganworld.co. You can do a lot of things, but that's kind of the easiest one. And if you want to go to the Kickstarter campaign, it's witchstarter.com. We kind of built on something else. We're going to have much. If you're a teen pagan, we're going to have we own the name. We have millennial witches. Oh my gosh, we have so many names that we can start retargeting and refocusing for reasons of Google and other SEOs. We are looking to build traffic. We're looking to build a center hub that generates the traffic to everybody else. We are not looking to be an end position. We are now part of the mesh, and we want to create for Web 3.0. As much as you've been hearing about AI, as much as you've been hearing all of this, metaverse, Web 3.0, I am so excited to be building in it. I'm so excited to have all of you with me.
This is incredible.
It is absolutely incredible. And so, folks, thank you for being with us at Daily Spell. And there we go. And thank you, Lori. See, she's so good at media, she just put it out there for everybody to see. Let me put it out there. Join us at Pagan World, and then and we will help you. We will help us all build, and we will ask more, and you can do more. Blessed be, and good night. Hmm?
Good night, everyone.